Now we realize that every time private sectors come into a sector, their major aim is to maximize profits. A good case study which came out from the research was actually waste management. It was noted that many of the companies concentrate on high-end or high-rise neighborhood. For instance, in Kampala, they have specific zoning where big companies actually only go where they're able to collect money. A household is actually charged between 30,000 and 50,000 for garbage collection. But when it comes to slums, you don't realize that they don't give them the same services like they give to high-end residences. So that shows you the disparity in terms of access to waste management, which, by the way, is a public good. So we still always have the argument that most of the times when the private actors come in, they'll only be able to invest their money where they're able to get profits. That's why you see many of them concentrating in Kampala, but many districts like Jinja, talk about the upcountry districts, do not have clear waste management because it is not such a profitable venture. And that's why I still want to call upon the government of Uganda that there's need to actually take waste management as a public service. Because if the environment is not cleaned, it has impact not only in terms of water access and quality, not only in terms of sanitation, but also it also impacts other services like electricity, health sector, among others. Now, in terms of the water sector, we must applaud the government of Uganda that national waters was not privatized. So unlike the sector of electricity and waste, water sector is still a little bit safe, and that's why I find that national water and sewerage is giving more returns compared to other sectors because they allowed the workers themselves to be able to run the services by themselves. However, when it comes to waste management, we still want to call upon the government of Uganda. Can we have a coherent national policy on waste management? One of the biggest challenges with the privateers, especially in terms of waste sector, is that majority of their workers lack protective gears. And this is putting their health at risk. Secondary is that they're actually being paid peanuts in terms of the work they give. And many of them have got precarious work. They don't have contracts. They're actually casualized. They're actually exposed to a number of health challenges, which really is not good for any Ugandan. Any Ugandan has got a right to work under a decent environment with adequate occupational health and safety measures being put in place. So I want to call upon the government of Uganda. Can we put in place mechanisms that can actually ensure that there's decent work and also protective equipment being provided for waste sector workers in Uganda? We also want to call upon the government of Uganda that they should actually find a way of normalizing how the operations of waste management in Uganda will be undertaken. Currently, if somebody is coming from the suburbs or if somebody is staying in the slums, the waste management there is actually not looked after. The research actually found that sometimes the waste management companies can take more than 3 days without collecting garbage. That is putting the life of the people and the citizens of Uganda at risk, but also putting a lot of pressure in terms of the health sector. If there's going to be an outbreak of a disease as a result of poor waste management, the government will have to spend more money. So I want to encourage them to have a look at that. While appreciating the decision of the government of Uganda not to renew the concessions, we want to call upon the new board that is going to take up the new workers that are going to be transferred from the concession companies to the government entity, that they should be able to look at the welfare of these people. Second, it is important for them to maintain the unionization of these workers. A union is there to ensure that workers' rights are actually protected, but there's also a harmonious working relationship between the employer and the employees.